Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King was released in 2005 in North America, developed by Level 5 and published by Square Enix. I originally played the PS2 version of this game, but for the sake of this walkthrough, we're going to be playing the remastered 3DS version that came out in 2017, since it has added features and is by far the definitive version of the game. For the sake of this walkthrough, I will be leaving out most cutscenes, but I will be making cutscene movies throughout the life of this series to go along with it. I want to give a big shout out to 00713 for making a text-based guide that is helping me put all of this together and 100% the game, and the Dragon's Den website for providing all the assets you will be seeing throughout the series. If it wasn't for Zero, I wouldn't know all the information to even get close to 100%ing this game. I would also like to say that I will be producing guide videos for the main side quests as well, like the Monster Arena and Cameron's Codex. I will be going over all the codex entries in the guide as we come across them, as some of them are missable, but I will be releasing a compilation with them all at the end of the series. Now, let's get into the completionist guide for Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King. The first thing we see as we start up the game is the introduction of the main character's pet mouse, Munchie. Throughout the game, there are a few occurrences where you get to control this adorable mouse, but for the most part, he is used in battle by eating cheese. We get greeted by our friend Yangus, once a bandit, now turned faithful companion on the straight and narrow. Once we gain control of our character, we destroy the 2 barrels in front of us and get a medicinal herb, our first healing item of the game. We talk to Yangus to progress, and we find out that this toad-looking fellow is a king and the horse is a princess. As the name of the game implies, this is the Cursed King, and we're setting out to find out how to revert this curse and get him and the princess back to normal. We get ambushed by 3 slimes, but they are fairly easy to take out, just a couple normal attacks should do the trick. After this introduction sequence, we arrive in the town known as Fairbury. As we arrive, the villagers seem somewhat taken aback by our arrival and are talking in hushed tones. We learn from King Trode that a jester named Dolmagus turned the king and princess into what they are. The king sent us on our way to find a man named Master Rylus, who by chance is the teacher of Dolmagus, so that we might be able to learn his whereabouts. Once we gain control in the town, there are quite a bit of items to find and collect. There is about 63 gold, 3 antidotal herbs, 5 medicinal herbs, 1 cypress stick, 1 chimera wing, 1 holy water, 2 plain clothes, 1 seed of defense, 1 pot lid, 1 leather shield, and a thief's key recipe. We start out by heading to the west side of town towards the burning pile of rubble. This place is important for later in the game. Right beside this, next to the inn, are some barrels that contain 4 gold pieces. If you go to the back of this building and enter the door, you should be behind the counter inside the inn. Upon entering, behind the innkeeper is a golden slime. This is the first codex entry that we come across. Go ahead and take a picture of this golden slime for number 89 Fairbury Golden Slime. We'll turn this in once we receive the quest. Search the sack on the wall for 3 gold, and head outside and enter the inn via the main entrance. Head upstairs and go into the back room, and on the wall sacks to the left should be an antidotal herb and a medicinal herb. In the cabinets near you should be a cypress stick. Next, open up the chest to obtain a chimera's wing. This allows you to fast travel to places that you've been to before. And the last 2 wardrobes should contain a holy water and a set of plain clothes. Before we leave the upstairs, speak to the man and the woman in the bed chambers and they will tell you that they have lost their ring. We won't be able to find this ring for quite some time, but remember that they are here. If you by chance read the books on the bookshelves up here, you'll find that the world has blue chests hidden in the world. For the sake of this guide, I will not be including these as they restock with random items so you never know what you're going to get. This is one of the features added here in the 3DS version of the game. Upon leaving the inn, we head into the house next to us and break the barrels inside for 5 gold pieces and search their wardrobes for an antidotal herb. Once we leave this house, we travel back into the center of town and head up the stairs. We take a right and head around to the back of the church to break some pots to obtain a seed of defense. We head back to the entrance and head inside. We head to the back room, and in this room next to the sink is a pot which contains a medicinal herb. Break it and move on to the next room. In here, search the wardrobes and you'll find a pot lid. The chest in here is locked, so we'll have to save this one for later. We leave the church and head into the weapon shop to see that there are 2 chests behind the counter, a Upon investigation, I found out that these chests are locked and that the shopkeeper really knows how to keep me out of his things. Along the outside of the building, to the west of the weapon shop, there are some barrels which contain 2 gold. Enter this house and search their wardrobes to find a generous 20 gold pieces. Now we'll enter the building just behind the weapon shop, which isn't the pub, and we'll break their pots for 8 gold and search the wardrobes for some more plain clothes. In the far back right of town, there is a building with a locked door with a well outside. Go down the well and we'll find a chest that contains a leather shield. We leave the well and search the other side of the locked building and break a pot for another medicinal herb. The last place we will be visiting is the pub. We head into the back entrance first because I'm a sneaky boy, and break some barrels to find 10 gold and head back outside to go into the main entrance. Upon entering to the right, there is a barrel which contains an antidotal herb. We head up towards the bar and trigger a cutscene. We learned that this fortune teller named Calderasha foretold the fire that burned down the building next to the inn, which happened to be Master Rylas' house. He did not survive the fire. Once the cutscene ends, we talk to Calderasha. Once we start talking to him, a boy rushes into the pub to tell everyone that a monster is in town and we need to go and see what's up. We need to run outside and head down the stairs on the west side of town as the main stairs are blocked and head towards the front gate. Once we get to the commotion, we see that the townsfolk are throwing things at King Trode. Medea, the horse princess, protects him, and we scoop him up and head out to the back exit of town. The king tells us that we are not welcome in Fairbury anymore and that we should be on our way. As soon as we go to leave, we're interrupted by a girl named Valentina, who is the daughter of Calderasha. She told us that she had a dream about us and that we can apparently make wishes come true. She tells us to come to her house in town so she can explain some things to us. Her house is the one with the locked door by the well that we couldn't enter previously. Before we head there, we're going to head back to the church and grab something. If you go up the stairs in the back room and head up the ladder, there's a small piece of paper on the ground in the top of the tower. This is a thief's key recipe, which we will be making later. We head out of the church and head back towards Valentina's house. We get inside and we head into the kitchen to break some pots and barrels for a medicinal herb and 7 gold. We then search the wardrobes for 4 gold. Now we speak to the girl and she tells us she wants us to find her father's real crystal ball. Calderasha threw out his real ball for whatever reason and she wants us to get the real one back. She tells us that it's apparently in a cave south of town. She wants her father to be a good fortune teller again. We accept and head out of the town in search of the crystal ball. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next episode, we will be exploring the Fairbury region, leveling up a bit, and treasure hunting. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button as well as like and share this video if you found it helpful. Please join my Discord and follow my Twitter to keep up with me. Links are as always in the description down below. See you guys next time.